Yeah, just give me a minute. Let me share my screen. Okay, let's start. So yesterday we discussed about the SAP HANA. Okay, we talked about what is the difference between SAP HANA and the traditional databases. And as I told you, from today we are going to discuss about SAP S4HANA. So let us try to first understand what is the difference. Okay, so I'll start out with the example. So let's say, or maybe let me give the example. I met with a person and I asked him like which version he's working on currently. He said we are already working on SAP S4HANA. So when I asked him within SAP S4HANA which version you are working with, whether it is 1511 or it is 1610, he said no, we are on EHP 7. So my question was, if you are on EHP 7, how can you say that we are already on SAP S4? The answer was, we are using SAP HANA database. So what do you think? Is it SAP S4HANA that we are using, or it is the traditional ECC system, it is only on SAP HANA database? So that needs to be very clear. All of you must be very clear that SAP HANA is a different thing and SAP S4HANA is different thing. Just because you are using SAP HANA database, it doesn't mean that you are already on SAP S4HANA. Because you can use SAP HANA database on your ECC system also. The difference is ECC system can have HANA or non-HANA database. Both options are available. But in case of SAP S4HANA, it works only on HANA database. So there is a big difference between SAP HANA and SAP S4HANA. SAP HANA is just a database. SAP S4HANA is an application. It is going to replace your ECC system, whatever version you are using. You are using EHP 1, 2, whatever version you are using, it is going to completely replace your current SAP system. So let's try to understand what are the functionalities or what exactly is SAP S4HANA. So SAP S4HANA stands for SAP Business Suite for SAP HANA. This is a full form of SAP S4HANA. SAP Business Suite for SAP S4HANA, SAP HANA, sorry. So earlier we were using ECC. ECC was also SAP Business Suite. Okay, but this Business Suite is built for SAP HANA database, and that is the reason this is called as SAP S4HANA. Now S stands for, in some of the documentations you will see that S stands for simplified, because this product is simplified. And suite, as we can see in the first line, the full form of SAP S4HANA is SAP Business Suite, so it can stand for suite also. 4 means fourth generation, or you can say this 4 is replacing S4 here, but this is, according to SAP, this 4 stands for the 4th generation technology. What is the 4th generation? So currently the things which are expected in the industry are more advanced than whatever we were using till now. For example, everybody is talking about cloud now, cloud offerings. Everybody is talking about mobile apps. Everybody is talking about Internet of Things. Okay, there are a lot of new cloud offerings like Ariba, Hybris, which has become very common now. Earlier these things were not common, but now all of these things are becoming common. So that is the reason now with SAP S4HANA, SAP came up with all these functionalities. So your core business model or business suite which you are using is going to support all these different combinations. It is going to support the new user interface, which will allow you to do the transactions from your mobiles. It will allow you to go on cloud, which means SAP S4HANA is also available as a cloud offering. At the same time, the Internet of Things, Hybris, Ariba, All these things can be integrated with your SAP core system without much of the configuration or without much of the effort. So SAP S4HANA provides you simple way of connecting to the cloud offerings also. So all these things are something which were never available in ECC, but now with SAP S4 they are now part of the standard product. Okay, so what exactly is SAP S4HANA? It is a new product and the next generation of business application. Why we are saying it is a new product? Is it completely redesigned? Is it completely from scratch? The answer is no. Whatever functionalities were available in ECC, first of all, they were copied and then the simplifications were made. So it doesn't mean that everything has started from scratch. But the reason why they are saying is a new product because this is coming from entirely new thinking. It is not only from EHP 7 to EHP 8 with only basic things. There are a lot of new things in offer, and that is the reason they are completely given the new name to this product and they are calling that this is a completely new product. What are that functionalities? It is fully built upon in-memory platform. We understood yesterday what is in-memory, which means data will be directly stored on RAM now. So SAP S4HANA is fully built upon SAP HANA database. So you cannot expect SAP S4HANA on traditional database. That combination is not at all available because SAP S4 is totally built upon HANA database. It cannot work on any other database. It provides you an instant insight by using single source of truth, business processes and dynamic planning and analysis. I'll give you example of each and every point of this line, but let's complete the other things first. It provides you modern and simplified user experience which is optimized for all devices. So as I told you, the screen wise, the way in which you are going to perform your transactions is going to be simpler because of the new screens in place. So SAP has provided the Fiori in which you will be getting the apps which are very similar to the apps that you use on your mobile device. So you can do the transactions from anywhere, from any device, that too in the simpler way. Right? So that is one of the benefit from the user experience point of view. Also, yesterday we discussed about background noise. Vivek, can you just mute yourself, please?
Is it okay now?
Yes. Please mute yourself. Yeah.
I don't know how it unmuted. Sorry.
Okay, no issues. It is still unmuted. So if there is any background noise, that will come. So do you know how to mute yourself? Okay, just give me a minute. Krishna, are you there? Krishna or Sana, are you there? Yes, okay. Now you are muted. Okay, so I was talking about this modern and simplified user experience, and yesterday we discussed about the reduction in the data footprint. So the way in which the data was getting stored in the tables, that was very complicated earlier. Same data was getting repeated again and again, and it was getting stored in different tables. But now with SAP S4HANA, as we discussed, the aggregates, we discussed what are aggregates and indices yesterday. So in SAP S4HANA, the aggregates and indices are going to be removed, which means there will be less data footprint. The amount of memory that will be consumed on your system will be minimized. Okay, in short, you will be getting again speed out of it. And finally, you are also getting the choice of deployment. So earlier, let's say for example, if a customer is interested to implement SAP system, he need to invest a lot of money on buying the server, networking devices, building up a team. Okay, then only he can start using SAP. Then only he can start the implementation project. Before that, there are a lot of investment like the server they need to purchase, the network. You need to have a team who is going to look out for that particular server. But now, if a customer is interested in going for SAP, he has another option in which he can save a lot on one-time investment. He can go on cloud solution. Cloud solution means what? You don't need to purchase any hardware. The hardware will be provided to you by the third party, okay? And even the implementation time will be reduced because this cloud-based offering is coming as a pre-configured solution. So there are a lot of configurations which are already in place. You just need to modify to suit it according to your requirement, but most of the things are already pre-configured, right? So with a cloud solution, you are saving time because of pre-configuration. You are saving a lot of infrastructure cost. Why? Because you don't need to purchase any new hardware that will be provided to you by the third party itself. What you need to pay? You just need to pay the subscription fees. Subscription fees for using the SAP service. It can be paid in the quarterly basis or it can be paid in the annual basis. So now you are getting both the options. It is not only cloud. If the customer is still interested in going on making one-time investment, he can go on premise edition also. Third is hybrid. Hybrid means mix of both. So let's say, for example, if your customer is using ECC and he is also using SRM system or CRM system. So in case of hybrid, let's say ECC will be kept on premise and CRM and SRM systems will be kept on cloud. This is called as a hybrid approach where you are using both the concepts in parallel. Alright, so this is one of the other benefit of using SAP S4HANA. Now coming to this line which I told you I'll be explaining later, SAP S4HANA provides an instant insight by using a single source of truth. What is a single source of truth? So as I told you, earlier multiple tables were being used to update the same information, and many times there was an inconsistency between these tables. So for example, one table is saying that this much quantity is available while the other table is saying no, it should be this much. Very rare scenario in case of logistics, but we are not only concentrating on logistics as of now. When we are talking about SAP S4, we are talking about all the functionalities including finance. So from finance point of view, this was very common. The balances in financial accounting are not matching with controlling. The balances in asset accounting are not matching with financial accounting. These things are very common. Why? Because there were different tables for asset accounting, different tables for controlling, different tables for financial accounting. But now we have a single source of truth, which means one common table which is going to store all the information at one place. So from accounting point of view, we have a table called as AC-Doc A, which is also called as a universal journal table because it is going to store all the information at one place. What is the benefit? There is no question of reconciliation issues because whatever is available in AC-Doc A, that is a truth. Earlier we need to find the truth, whether controlling is giving us the correct picture or financial accounting is giving us the correct picture. But now we don't need to worry because whatever is available in AC-Doc A, that itself is a truth. So that is a single source of truth. From materials point of view, MAT-DOC. So you don't need to go into different tables to get the materials information. You don't need to go for MKPF separately and MSEC separately. Now you will be getting all the information available at one place. Real-time processes. So let's take an example of MRP. In ECC, whenever you were running the MRP run, it was taking hours to complete. Why? Because in the background, whenever you execute MRP, it goes and checks various different tables. It goes to stocks tables, it goes to the purchase order tables, it goes to sales order tables, it goes to production order tables, it finds the information from all the different components. And that is the reason it takes a lot of time to execute that particular report. So whatever information you get, that is not real time because you are losing the data in between. So let's say you are carrying out the transactions also, so MRP will not give you the correct picture. I'm not saying not 100% correct, but there are chances of incorrect figures which will appear in your MRP run. So now, if SAP S4HANA MRP Live is one of the functionality which is provided, which is going to bring that time down. So MRP Live, let's say earlier if you were taking hours to complete, now it will be within minutes that you will be getting the report, the MRP run. Sometimes within the seconds also. That is so much strong. MRP Live is a very strong functionality. So you will be getting the real-time process. This is just an example. Other example I can give you. Let's take an example of APO. So today you have your ECC system and you have your APO system. Now whatever transactions you do in ECC, at the end of the day or at the end of the week, they are transferred to APO because APO is a separate system. It is not within your SAP system, right? So what is happening? You are transferring the data only at the end of the day. Again, you are not getting the real-time reporting in APO in that case, right? Why? Because you are transferring the data only in the batches, not in real time. This is just one example. Again, in ECC also you can configure using the replication server, the data moves from your ECC to APO in real time. But again, now with SAP S4, even APO component, the complete component is going to be available within the same system, SAP S4 core system, which means your ECC and APO will be clubbed together and everything will be available in real time. Same thing, dynamic planning and analysis. So in APO, whatever planning you are doing, now that will be done directly on the common SAP S4 system. Okay, this is just for example, but as I told you, this is something which is in plan. APO is still not available as a complete functionality within SAP S4, but the ultimate intention of SAP S4 is to bring everything on the common platform so that we don't have different server for different purpose. So even SRM, CRM, they are also going to be coming onto the common platform on one same server. Okay, so these are some of the benefits of SAP S4HANA. Now let's try to understand how exactly this SAP S4 core system will look like. What is the core system? So the server that we are going to use, let me just share that screen with you. Now this server that we are using, this is 1610 server. This server is called as SAP S4 core system. Are you able to see the screen?
Yes, Gaurav.
Just give me a minute, it was not responding, so I just closed it.
So Gaurav, is it like EWM is embedded in 1610, so APO is also embedded in 1610?
Exactly. So EWM, APO, they are not completely embedded as of now, but ultimately all these functionalities will be embedded within the SAP S4 system.
But I think 1610 has EWM.
It has, but it's all not the complete functionality of EWM. There are still some functionalities which are still to come in the next versions.
Okay.
Some functionalities are already available within the same system, but there are some functionalities which are still not available, which are expected in future.
Okay.
Same is the case with CRM, SRM, APO. So all these things are expected to be completely available within the same system instead of having the separate system for each and every functionality. But the cloud-based offerings like Ariba, Hybris, they will continue to be on the separate system because they are anyways separately chargeable.
Mhm.
I'm not able to connect to the server. There seems to be some issue, but the server that we will be using, okay, that is our SAP S4 core system. Now on top of that server, okay, we can go for SuccessFactors, we can go for Ariba, we can go for Concur, we can go for Hybris. So if we combine our main server, our core server with all these cloud-based offerings, this complete picture is called as SAP S4HANA. SAP S4HANA is not only on-premise system that we are using, it includes all the other things which you are going to integrate within that. So actually speaking, SAP S4HANA is not a product, it is a concept which brings on your core system, your cloud offerings like Ariba, SuccessFactors, all into one common platform. So this is your core system. You need to understand whatever practice we will be doing, whatever transactions we will be doing on the core system. Okay, but on top of core system, you can have different cloud-based offerings like SuccessFactors, Ariba, Hybris, Concur. So the complete picture is called as SAP S4HANA, and this particular portion is called as the digital core, or it can be called as a SAP S4 core system. Now what is contained in the core system? The basic functionalities like MM, SD, PP, whatever we have in ECC. Similarly, we have the core functionalities available in the core system. Even the APO,
Sorry to interrupt
IBP,
you. We are not able to see your screen. It is blue screen only.
you're not able
Are
to
you
see.
sharing anything?
Okay.
Or,
Yes, sorry. Can you see now?
yeah, now I am.
Narendra, can you see? Okay, okay.
Yeah, now I am able to see.
Yes. So I was talking about this box. This box is your system in which you have MM functionalities, SD functionalities, and whatever the core business processes are available in this system. On top of that, you can opt for SuccessFactors if you want to perform your HR processes. You can opt for Ariba if you want to integrate your MM processes with Ariba. You can go for Concur, you can go for Hybris. So this complete picture, the core system plus this cloud-based offerings combinedly are called as SAP S4HANA system. So in some of the customer, you may find that they are only implementing SAP S4 core. In some of the other customers, you will find that SAP S4 core plus Ariba or SAP S4 core plus SuccessFactors. Okay, but you need to remember this system that we are going to use is called as SAP S4 core system. Okay, it is also called as a digital core system, which consists of the basic functionalities. Now, as of today, if I talk about CRM, SRM, they are available as a separate functionalities, right? They are not available within this core. But going forward, the plan is whatever functionalities are available in SRM, CRM, to make them part of this core system. So already as we discussed, APO, your IBP, your embedded, EWM solution. So some of the functionalities are already part of this core system, while some of the functionalities are still available separately. And going forward, all these things are going to be embedded within this same core system. Okay, so this just you just need to remember this particular figure to identify what is the difference between the SAP S4 core system and what exactly is SAP S4HANA. So SAP S4HANA is a bigger picture. It includes all the combinations that you are going to use with SAP. So SAP basic core system plus Ariba plus Hybris plus Concur, the complete picture is called as SAP S4HANA. But if I talk about SAP S4 core, it is a system that we are going to use to perform our core processes. So in our case 1610, the system that we are going to use for our training purpose, that is called as a SAP S4 core system.
Gaurav, I have one question here.
Yeah.
Coming to the finance part, what is the cloud solution for finance? We can see the success factor for HR and Ariba for procurement and the Hybris for CRM. But coming to the
No,
finance,
for
what is the, yeah,
yes,
just
for
go ahead.
finance we don't have any. Yes, for finance we don't have any separate system which you can install. So that is the reason nothing has been mentioned here. So all these functionalities
Okay.
that you can see, they are very much part of the core process.
Okay.
Gaurav, Sharmila here.
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you, Shamila.
In previous slide, you have shown the three deployment methods, on-premise, cloud, and hybrid. So when you say
Hmm?
on cloud, it's like a subscription where we take, and on-premise is like the heavy investment which we need to do. So in which case the customer would go for on-premise, because if SAP is providing all the pre-configured content, and also we are able to modify the things as per our need on the cloud, then why we will go for on-premise?
Yes, this is a good question. I was about to come on to this, but since you asked, let's discuss about this here itself. See, if I give you the simple example which will help you to differentiate between the two, and you'll remember this example throughout your life. So on-premise, let's say, forget about SAP. Let's say you as an individual got transferred to some new location. Let's say you are transferred to Mumbai, and now in Mumbai you are looking for your accommodation. So you have two options. The first option is you will buy your own house. Second option is you take a home on rent, okay, on the subscription basis. So if you have that much budget that you can buy the home, in that case, instead of paying the rent, you will prefer to buy your own home. Now, if you buy your own home, you have a lot of control. You can change whatever you want. You can change the color, you can change the furniture, you can change anything that you want, because it is under your control. On the other hand, if you don't have that much budget, or even let's say if you have the budget also, then too you thought that it will be good, instead of investing a lot of amount, let's go with the rented option. But if you go for the rented option, there will be a lot of restrictions, because it is not under your control. It is maintained by third party. You are just paying the subscription for staying there. So whatever changes he wants to make, he will not ask you. He will just make that changes, right? If he wants to change the color, if he wants to change the furniture, that is up to him. So you will not have that control. Now let's come to our scenario. If a customer is interested in going for SAP, he has two options. Either he will go for on-premise, in which he needs to purchase that system. For purchasing, he will need one-time investment. But if he is able to purchase that, if he has that much budget, he will be having the complete control on that system. He can decide when to upgrade the system. He can decide when to take a backup. He can decide whatever applications, components he want to connect with the system. All the complete control is with the person who is taking on-premise. On the other hand, if you go for cloud, now cloud is a system which is shared by multiple customers. So for example, if Amazon is providing you cloud solution, okay, Amazon being the third party, he is the hosting party who has the server, he is providing you on the subscription basis. So it doesn't mean that one server will be dedicated to you. What will happen normally is the same server will be shared by multiple customers. So there are 5 different customers who are using the same system. Now if you ask Amazon, I want to upgrade my system, he cannot allow you. Or if you ask them, I want to change the body, the standard body of the system, he will not allow you, because you are not the only customer who is using that. There are some other customers also who are using the same system. If you change anything, it will impact all the customers, right? So the control is not with you. Whatever upgrades, whatever changes needs to be done in the system, that is not in your control. So you are losing the control there. So it is up to you whether you will prefer to go for cloud where you are getting the flexibility in terms of the payments, but at the same time you don't have that much control, or whether you want to go for on-premise where the server belongs to you, you can make the changes whatever you want as per your needs.
Okay. The second question is about when we say on the cloud, so data will be secured or how it is?
See, data is secure. That is the reason everybody is talking about cloud. So this was the earlier belief that on cloud is not safer because we are playing with our data. But you can see now most of the new companies which are coming into the market, everybody is talking about the cloud solution. So, and normally, like we have not heard many incidents which are like the data integrity was not maintained. So as of now, it has been long time now, the cloud solution is very popular. So normally you will not worry about the data security.
Okay, yeah. Thanks, Gaurav.
Hi Gaurav, this is Vijay. I have a related question.
Yeah.
When you say the cloud and multiple clients will be using the same server and same application, is it different from the hosting services that currently IBM and Cognizant provide for multiple customers with multiple flavors of SAP? Like it's not the same instance. Every customer, they can have their own instance in their data centers. Is it different from?
No. Yes, yes. If you are having a different instance, in that case, whatever changes you make on your instance, it is not going to make any difference in the other customer. But when we are talking about sharing the system, it means the same instance being shared by different parties.
That means data center, the services are different from cloud services. The cloud services, basically, we are sharing the same instance.
Yes,
Okay.
That is the difference.
Okay, got it.
So let's say, for example, if you are a very small company, only 30 or 40 users are there and you need a licensing only for 30, 40 users. So it will be too costly if you go for the hardware for just 30 to 40 users. What you can do is you can think of subscription basis and you will be charged very less because you are only asking for 30, 40 licensing. And on the other hand, it is also something good for the startups. So they can go for the small number of licenses today and tomorrow they can just increase the number of licensing. So it is allowing you to scalability also. So these are some of the benefits of cloud. But ultimately, if you have the budget, if you are a good company and you are not worried about budget is not your constraint, it will be good for them to go for the on-premise because they will get the complete control out of it.
Okay. So that means the cloud cannot have our separate instance of each client. If a company, like Amazon, so give services for 10 different customers, all the 10 will be using the same server, not separate instance for 10 customers.
See, both the options are available. Both the options are available. So
okay.
The cloud solution that we are discussing is a public cloud. Again, within the cloud, there are two types. One is public cloud, which is the normal scenario. Other, as you said, if I am a customer, I don't want to purchase the hardware. I request Amazon, you purchase the hardware, but it needs to be dedicatedly available to me. In that case, if you are going for the private cloud, it is going to cost you too much. So it will be always better to go for on-premise in that case.
Okay, got it.
Now let's talk about how exactly all these things started, where exactly we are today, and what is expected in future. Okay, so I think by now you must have got the flavor, but this is something which you need to understand completely so that it becomes thorough in your mind. So everything started in 2011 when SAP came up with SAP HANA database. Okay, before that, as we know that we were using ECC, various versions of ECC, EHPs, okay, and the traditional databases were supported. So SAP came up with SAP HANA database in year 2011, okay, and the first product that was built on SAP HANA database was not ECC. the first product that was built on SAP HANA database was SAP BW. Okay, so instead of directly using SAP HANA database on ECC system, SAP first came up with SAP BW system on SAP HANA. Okay, so in 2012, as we can see, the first product on HANA was SAP BW. And then in 2013, SAP came up with SAP Business Suite powered by SAP HANA, which means your ECC EHP7 system on HANA database. So the customers who have implemented SAP in 2013, or maybe once this product came into the picture, they had two options. If you are going for EHP7, the customers had two options. Either they can go for ECC on any traditional database, or they can go for ECC on HANA database. So both the options were available to the customers. Currently also, as a customer, if you are interested to go for SAP, you have two options. Either you can directly go to SAP S4, or SAP is still selling the SAP ECC also. So if the customer is not interested in SAP S4 as of now, if they want to go for SAP ECC, again they will get two options. They can go for traditional database, or they can go for SAP HANA. Okay, so from 2013, both these options were available because SAP was offering the SAP ECC EHP7 on HANA database. But that was not the only thing. Now, once the ECC was available on HANA database, SAP thought of how to simplify the processes. So if I have the ECC on SAP HANA, it will only provide me speed. How am I going to improvise the processes? How am I going to improvise the user experience? Because just by replacing your traditional database with SAP HANA, it is not going to give you the simplified user experience. It is not going to give you the simplified processes. So this was a time when SAP thought of simplifying the processes. And they started with finance. Okay, because as you know, the first module which was developed from SAP was finance itself, and definitely they need to concentrate on finance first, because whenever they are approaching the customer, ultimate decision is with CFOs. So if CFOs are happy with the functionalities which are provided by SAP S4, ultimately if they are getting their closing on time, they will be delighted. That is the reason SAP given the thought on finance first. They simplified the financial processes first. And that is the reason in 2014, SAP came up with first simplification on SAP HANA in the form of SAP Simple Finance. So SAP Simple Finance came in year 2014. What was this? SAP Simple Finance was available as an add-on. Add-on means same ECC system, you just need to install the add-on on top of your ECC system. So whatever functionalities you have in terms of MM, SD, PP, all the logistics processes will remain exactly same. Only the financial functionalities will be changed. So from finance point of view, the new table was available called as ACDOC. The new functionalities were available from financial point of view, but logistics point of view, nothing has been changed. Then in year 2015, month of November, that is 15/11, SAP came up with first product which includes simplifications in logistics also. But this was not called as simple logistics because this is not only simplified logistics, it already contains the simplified finance. That is the reason they given the name as SAP S4HANA. So SAP S4HANA on-premise 15/11, this is the first product which has the simplified logistics components into it. Okay, after which, although it is not shown in this particular roadmap, we already know that SAP came up with 1610 last year, which is the latest version of SAP S4HANA. Okay, going forward, we are expecting 1710, 1810, at least for next 2-3 years, we will be getting different versions. Why? Because this product is still not completely developed. So as we said, SAP has simplified the financial first in 2014. in 2015 SAP came up with the simplifications in the basic core modules like MM, SD, PP, but there are a lot of other modules where the simplifications are still required. As we are discussing, we want the simplifications in CRM and SRM. We don't want separate system for CRM, SRM. We want to bring everything on the common platform. So that is something which we are expecting in 1710. APO processes, EWM processes, we want the simplifications. We want to bring all these things directly in the same system. So some of the functionalities are already provided in 1610, but there are a lot of functionalities which are expected in the coming years. Right, so 1710, 1810 will provide you more and more benefits in terms of CRM, SRM, APO, some new dimensional technologies. But if we concentrate on the basic core modules like FI, CO, MM, SD, PP, so whatever simplifications were expected, they are already available. So in MM, SD, PP, we are not expecting any further improvements. The improvements are expected from CRM, SRM and APO point of view in future. Right, so this product is going to be in the development stage for next 2-3 years, where all the different components will be merged together and everything will be available on the common platform. That is the whole purpose of coming up with this SAP S4HANA system. Another one thing to note, as I told you, SAP S4HANA comes in two versions. Two versions means two flavors. Either you go on premise or you go on cloud. So as we discussed, the first version was 1511, second version 1610, third version will be expecting in 1710, 1810, like this we are expecting the versions. These are all the versions on premise. So in case of on-premise, the upgrades are available every yearly. But in case of cloud, the upgrades are available every quarterly. Every quarterly upgrades are available on cloud. This is again one of the things that you should understand. So if I am a customer who is interested in going for SAP, and you are also another customer who is interested in going for SAP. I selected on-premise approach, you selected cloud approach. I implemented 1511. Now SAP has came up with 1610. It is my choice whether I want to go for 1610 or not. But in case of cloud, every quarterly the upgrades are coming. So if you have installed 1511, after that 1602 came as an upgrade on cloud, and it was mandatorily needs to be upgraded. You don't have any control on that. Whatever new versions will come on cloud, they will be mandatorily upgraded. So 1602, 1605, then 1610, then now I think 1701 or 2 will come, or maybe it has already come on cloud. So in case of cloud, the upgrades are available every quarterly and they are not optional. They are mandatory for each and every client to upgrade the system. But in case of on-premise, as I told you, the control is with you. You can decide whether you are happy with 1511 or you want to go with 1610. If you don't want to go, not a problem. It is not mandatory. Right? So I hope you understood how things started, where we are today, and what is expected in the next versions.
Gaurav,
Go ahead, please.
Sorry.
Yeah, in this slide you said the SAP Business Warehouse powered by SAP HANA. So it says that the real-time analysis. So I mean, what I understood is from the ECC, the data was going towards BW as a, I mean, as a batch schedule or something. So how it is a real-time analysis?
Yes. See, when SAP BW came, so normally, as you said, in ECC, if I have a separate BW system, normally the data travels from ECC to BW either in the day end or in the weekend. Like you can define what time you want to transfer the data from ECC to BW, right? But now,
Yes.
with SAP HANA, there is a functionality called as replication. there is a SLT tool available, landscape transformation tool called as replication server. So you must have heard a term called as sidecar approach. Have you heard about that, sidecar?
Yes, yes, yes.
Yes. So what is sidecar? Sidecar means you have ECC system and BW system which are connected via sidecar approach, which means whenever you do any transaction in ECC, immediately in real time the data will flow to BW system via the replication server, which is only possible in case of HANA.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, so that is the reason it is written that you will be getting the real-time analysis when you go for SAP BW on SAP HANA.
Okay. The next question is when the business suite powered by SAP HANA. So you have mentioned the SAP HANA Enterprise Cloud. So what is that?
Yes, so okay, let me just explain all these points. So when SAP came up with SAP Business Suite powered by HANA, which means ECC EHP 7 on SAP HANA, even for ECC customers, even for EHP 7 customers from 2013, the option was available for cloud. So if you are using EHP 7 and if you are using SAP HANA database, you can opt for cloud. So in short, the cloud solution is not something available for the first time. Cloud solution was available in ECC itself, but the prerequisite is that you are using SAP HANA database. You are using ECC on HANA database. So this was introduced for the first time here. The cloud solution was introduced for the first time for SAP in 2013.
Yeah.
Sorry?
Okay, so restriction would be same, right? On cloud, it will be like quarterly upgrade and no control.
Definitely.
When in
Yes,
2013, the SAP HANA Enterprise Cloud, the restriction would be same, right? From what you discussed for S4HANA, that the cloud version, the flexibility is not there, or the upgrade would be quarterly upgrade. So that would be the same case for business suite powered by HANA.
Upgrade wise, no, because the upgrades are only available on SAP S4. But otherwise, the control, whether you want to go for some Z transaction that you want to create, that all restrictions were there because it is again the public cloud which is being shared by multiple customers.
Okay, and the last question is related to S4HANA. When you said that on the cloud we have the quarterly upgrade which is being done. So during that period, would there be any downtime?
Possible. Like if you are on the cloud solution and upgrades are being done, there must be some downtime, but normally it will happen on the off business hours. So they will provide you the timeline maybe 1 month earlier that we are going to perform this thing. So the server will be available for this much time. But when we are talking about the upgrades, they are not going to take much time because we are not going to change the version. We are not going to change many functionalities. So it will be only 3 to 4 hour task.
Okay. Okay. Thanks, Gaurav.
This is Vijay, Gaurav. I have a question. Yeah, the difference between 1511 and 1610 is only the cloud upgrade or is the functionality upgrade as well? I mean, a simple logistics was there in 1511 also or not?
Yes. 1511 and 1610, it is a functionality upgrade, but 1511 also has the simple logistics functionalities available. So as I told you, in 1511, the concentration was on simplifications of MM, ST and PP. So in 1610, we are also talking about some of the simplifications available in APO, some of the simplifications available in EWM. So these things were not available in 1511. So 1511 was concentrating on the core functionalities. But yes, logistics simplifications were available starting with 1511.
Okay. So both the versions doesn't have a service management simplification or plant maintenance simplifications, right?
Sorry, which topics you said?
1511 and 1610, both are not having simple service management plant maintenance kind of functions, right?
Service management, some of the things are simplified in 1610, but we need to check what are that.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Even the industry specific solutions. So some of the industry specific solutions were supported in 1511. Now they have increased the industry solutions which are going to be supported for 1610.
Okay. Got it. Thank you.
Okay. Now, as we understood that what is exactly SAP S4, I hope you are now able to understand how exactly all these things started. What is the difference between SAP HANA and SAP S4 HANA? This should be very clear to you, because normally if you ask a person outside, there are many chances that the thinking in the IT industry is that, SAP industry is that if I'm using SAP HANA database, I'm already on SAP S4 HANA. So that is something which you need to be very careful. When you are using SAP S4 HANA, it means the application you are using. So either you are using 1511 or you are using 1610. If you are not using, if you are on ECC, you are not at all on SAP S4. You might be on SAP HANA if you are only using the database. Okay, but now to summarize, let me talk about the three key enablers. What are the three key, what I can say, the backbones of SAP S4 HANA? So obviously you know SAP HANA is a very first backbone without which we cannot think of coming up with all these simplifications. What are you going to achieve from SAP HANA? OLAP and OLTP are merging together. You are getting in-memory computing, at the same time compression. As we discussed, when you are storing the data in the form of rows as well as columns, so in the columns you are performing the compression. Increase in speed, ultimately you want to achieve the speed which is provided by SAP HANA database. Second key enabler is SAP Fiori, through which you are getting the easy access to your transactions. You can perform your transactions in the easier way. So how exactly SAP Fiori is going to help you? So cross application user experience, this is very important line, cross application user experience. So let's say, take an example in ECC. If you are doing the transaction in ECC, you need to log in into the ECC system. If you want to do the transaction in CRM, user needs to log off from the ECC, he needs to log in into separate CRM system to perform the transaction, because two servers are different. Now, even today, when we are talking about SAP S4 1610, servers are still different, because you have a separate CRM login and you have a separate SAP S4 login. Maybe going forward they both will be merged, but as of today CRM is different and SAP S4 core system is different. Now if the user wants to perform the transaction on SAP S4 core, he can use SAP Fiori screen to do the transaction. Now in the between, he wants to perform the transaction on CRM. Now in this case, he doesn't need to log off from the current system, because using a same Fiori launchpad, you can have the apps coming from different applications. So you can have one transaction which is coming from SAP S4 core system, and you in the same Fiori page you can have another transaction which is coming from CRM. So you don't need to log in into two different systems. You can perform the transactions from one screen. That is one of the important benefit of using SAP Fiori. So from multiple different applications, you can have a same user interface and you can perform the transactions from one screen itself. Okay. Second is web-based. So you are getting web-based application. It is not like application needs to be installed in your PC. That is not the case. You just need a link, the web-based link. You can enter that web link in any of the computer and it will ask for your user ID and password so that you can access it anywhere on any device. Again, from the security point of view, it depends upon your administrator whether he is allowing the access from anywhere or any device or not, but technically it is possible. So for example, being the Fiori administrator, I don't want the access to be given outside Office network. I'm just giving the example. Outside the Office network, you should not be allowed to use the Fiori apps. So that can be blocked from the administrator. or it can be blocked for a particular user. It can be blocked for the particular device. For example, this transaction cannot be done from mobile. This can be done only from, let's say, tab or laptop. So all that conditions can be mapped into your administration part. It is a role-based, so we'll talk about Fiori in detail. We'll have one, I think in the next session we'll be talking about Fiori, at least the overview. Role-based means whatever transactions you will be doing, it will be according to your role. So if you are a purchase manager, you should not be able to see the transactions which are related to accounting. If you are a sales manager, you should not be able to see the transactions which are related to purchasing. So that is taken care in Fiori also. So you will be only able to see the transactions for which you are authorized. There is some background noise. Do you have any question? Thank you. And finally, it is decisive. Decisive means you can, there are a lot of apps which are available like approval process. So there is an app called as My Work List. In My Work List, it will give you all the options of approving. So if you are a purchase manager, it will give you the list of all the purchase order which needs to be approved. So all these things are directly available within SAP Fiori. Finally, the third key enabler is real-time and simplified. So this is now coming towards the processes. So SAP HANA is technical thing, SAP Fiori is technical thing, but as a functional consultant, what is our responsibility to get full out of SAP S4 is how it is real-time and simplified. So what are the aggregates which are not available? What are the indices which are not available? What are the new functionalities which are available? Okay, what is the change in the credit management functionality? What is the change in the MRP functionality? All these things will belong to this particular thing. So no aggregates and indices, you are getting higher flexibility. I'll talk about throughput here, and data footprint reduction. So ultimately you are storing less amount of, or you are consuming less amount of system resources, which will provide you again speed and which can save you a lot of cost. Why? Because if you are using your memory efficiently, in the future there are less chances that you require the additional memory, right? Now with all these key enablers, what are you achieving? So these are some rough figures which are provided by SAP according to their experience wherever they tried this product. 10 times smaller data footprint. So it can reduce your data footprint by 10 times, which means if your current, let's say your current data memory which you are consuming is 10 terabytes, just for example, so it will bring down to 1 terabyte. Again, these are rough figures. It may not happen in every case, but this is according to the average experience that they had from multiple customers. 7 times higher throughput. What is throughput? Throughput means output minus input. So why are we using SAP? In order to get more and more reports. But in order to get the reports, what we need to do? We need to perform the transactions. So transactions are input and reports are output. We want more of output and less of input. So we should spend less time in doing the transactions and we should concentrate more on output. So that is the throughput. So now the amount of time required to do the transactions will come down and you will be getting more and more real-time reports. So you are getting more of output and less of input, that is also 7 times. 1800 times faster reports that we discussed. Because of SAP HANA you are going to get the speed that is 1800 times faster. And finally 4 times less process steps, which means whenever you are doing any process, whenever you are doing any transaction, so the amount of steps that you need, like for example when you create a purchase order, you need to go into 4 different tabs to enter the information. This is just for example, it may not be required in case of purchase order, but let's assume that you are entering 4 different things while creation of purchase order. Now with SAP Fiori, the screens are made simple. which means you need to enter minimum data. Most of the information will be copied automatically. Okay, so you are going to reduce your time by 4 times, which means earlier if you were taking 4 minutes to perform a transaction, now it can be done in 1 minute. Okay, so these are at the high level what are the benefits of SAP S4HANA from the technical point of view. Now in order to accommodate these changes, SAP has provided a lot of functionality related changes. That is exactly what we need to understand. So we'll talk about what has been changed from MM point of view, SD point of view, MRP live point of view, and how are we going to convert our existing ECC system to SAP S4. So these are the things that we are going to discuss in the subsequent sessions. In our next session, we are going to talk about SAP Activate methodology, which is a new way of converting or implementing the SAP S4HANA. So earlier we were using SAP methodology, right? Now that SAP methodology has been replaced for SAP S4HANA implementations and conversions, we are not going to use SAP, we are going to use the Activate methodology, which has its own set of phases. So we'll be talking about that phases. I'll be providing you different documentations related to Activate, which will help you in your projects. Okay, any questions related to today? I'm done with my part today, and if you have any questions, you can proceed.
Hey, Gaurav, this is Vijay. We talk about cloud with reference to server, whether we put on-premises, like we own the server or somebody third party owns the server. That's cloud we're talking about. And how about cloud for customer, cloud for service? It's also related to the servers, or we are talking something on a Fiori based?
Cloud for service, I'm not getting you. What exactly you're talking about?
There are applications, web application like cloud for C4C and C4S, cloud for service, cloud for customer. What are they?
Okay.
They're apps within SAP Fiori, or they're also like servers like cloud we talked about. Somebody third party knows those applications.
Yes, exactly. They are third party applications. Let's take an example. So today, as we discussed, within SAP S4, you can have Ariba, you can have Hybris, you can have success factors. So these functionalities, they, as you must be knowing, that they were not part of SAP earlier. All these were different companies. Success factor was a different company, Ariba was something different, Hybris was something different. But as they grew, like everybody was connecting SAP with Ariba, Hybris. So now they are very much part of SAP products. SAP has purchased everything, Ariba, Hybris and all. So these are the functionalities which are only available as a part of cloud solution. They are not available on premise. So you cannot go and ask for Ariba licensing that I am going to use it on premise. That is not possible. So these are the functionalities which are available on cloud. These are some things which are the separate technology altogether. They have nothing to do with Fiori.
Oh, okay. So it's not like a front-end, web-based front-end for the existing functionality. Like if you say cloud for customer, all the SD functionality will be web-enabled. The customer can log in and he can do whatever, like selecting the product, placing the order directly, like internet sales. It's not like that.
That is like that, but that is a separate functionality. So you cannot say if I want to use a Fiori, I can directly ask my customer to update. Only if you are using this cloud-based technology C4C, then only the customer will be able to do that. So that is a separate functionality altogether on top of your SAP S4.
I see. Okay.
Yeah, any other questions?
So the latest version, another question on 1610, if I am a SD guy, and do I need to do something on Hybris, or without Hybris, do I know that I'm working on a Hybris or I'm working on a SAP SD? Is there any difference between Hybris and SAP SD?
Yes, definitely. See, Hybris is something which is on top of your SD. So for example, the functionalities which are available on Hybris, they are integrated with SD in order to provide you the interface. But if you talk about SD, SD has its own set of functionalities and Hybris is completely different.
Okay, so when I'm working on 1610, am I working on Hybris functionality or am I working on SAP SD functionality or both?
It can be both, but definitely SD. See, for example, let me give you an example. If I go back to the SAP core system, just give me a minute, this slide which we have seen. See, if you see here, this is your SAP core system, SAP S4HANA core system, which has the core functionalities available like SD, MM, PP, everything is available here with simplifications, right? Because of simple logistics. Now, even after that, even after using the SD functionality, you want some additional functionalities which are available in Hybris. For example, web-based portal to create the orders and all that Hybris technologies. So in that case, it is optional whether you want to activate this or not. But this is something which is already available within SAP S4.
Oh, okay. But Hybris is I think it's a billing tool, right? It's not a complete SD. It's only a billing tool, I guess.
Exactly. So it is not going to be same as SD. SD is whatever you were getting the functionalities within the ERP that you will get in SD. On top of that, if you want some additional functionalities which are available in Hybris, like billing you said, like the order taking you said, that can be merged with Hybris if you have the requirement, but it is not mandatory.
Okay. Thank you, Gaurav.
Gaurav, this is Ravi here. You said in 1610 there is some part of service is already there. I mean customer service module. Could you? Are we going to talk about that in future classes, or can we talk about?
No,
what is available?
no. Normally I don't talk because normally I focus on the core modules. That is MMSD and MRP Live. These are the things that we normally talk about. But if you just want the overview, because customer service, I don't think there are many things which are available on SAP S4. If you want the overview, I can do that. That is not a problem.
Yeah, that would be helpful actually.
Yes, overview we can talk about.
Yeah, okay. Just I will remind you maybe later on. You want me to remind after maybe a few classes, or?
Sure. Even if you don't remind, I'll just make sure that I'll talk about what has been changed, because I also need to check. Normally I don't want to work on customer service, but I'll just go through it and I'll just give you the overview on that.
Yeah, we both were interested in that, Gaurav, both Ravi and myself.
Thank you, Gaurav.
Hey, hi Gaurav, this is Manish.
Yeah, Manish.
Hello. Yes, like you talked about this upgrades on cloud on quarterly basis, 1602, 1605. So is it upgrade in cloud basis, means cloud side, or in the logistics functionality? My question is,
when we are saying upgrade is in the application itself. So let's say, for example, within the logistics, SAP has came up with a new functionality which was not available in 1602. Now it is available in 1605. So as soon as you upgrade to 1605, that functionality will become available. So it may be related to logistics, related to some other functionalities.
So on cloud we can. So on cloud we can get more function and more upgrades than the in-premise, correct?
Yes. Upgrades are available every quarter.
Okay. Thank you.
Whenever SAP comes up with upgrades on cloud, it also provides the service pack in case of on-premise also. So for example, 1511 was launched as cloud also and on-premise. After that, on cloud, SAP came up with 1602. So for on-premise, SAP has provided SPS1. So whatever new things came in cloud, through that SPS1, if you upgrade to SPS1, you can get on-premise also. But only difference is, in case of on-cloud, that is mandatorily needs to be upgraded. In case of on-premise, it is optional.
Okay, got it. Thank you.
Okay. Okay, so let's close today and we'll meet again with SAP.
Upgrade, I mean, give the new features.
Sorry, Virendra?
Hello. Yeah, Gaurav, I
Yes,
have a
Virendra.
question here. Yeah, we said the SAP will provide the upgrades quarterly. Yeah. Are you able to hear me? Are you able to hear me? Hello. Is it audible?
Yes, Virendra, not very clearly.
Hello.
Yes.
Still it is not audible. Still it is not clear.
It is audible, but there is a lot of background
Hello.
noise. So you can go ahead. I'll just try to understand.
As you are saying that SAP will provide the quarterly basis updates, but if SAP keep on providing the updates like quarterly, but who will take the responsibility of testing, like the regression testing of our functionality?
Virendra, a lot of background noise. Otherwise, can you just write your question on the chat screen?
Yeah, sure. Just a moment.
Edwin, do you have any questions? I think there is some background noise from your side.
Yes, actually, I just joined the session. Sorry, I couldn't log in on time.
Oh, we almost completed. We are about to close.
Yeah. Actually, one of my friend, he just forwarded this link to me. I'm not sure who is faculty and where this course is conducted.
Okay.
And, can you just drop a mail about this commercial part of this course and other stuff? Or can I have one more session?
See, Edwin, what we can do is we already completed 2 sessions. So yesterday was the first and today was the second. So what you can do, I'll just ask Sana or Krishna. I don't know whether they are here or not on the call. I'll just ask them to speak to you and they'll provide you the link of these videos of yesterday and today. And after that, if you find any question, maybe we can you can ask that question whenever we are meeting next time.
Sure. Okay then. Do you have any classroom session? No.
No, classroom we don't have. Only online.
Online. It's from Bangalore or Hyderabad?
It is not from it is online. So most of the guys from all over the world.
Okay then. Okay. Your good name?
Gaurav.
Gaurav. Okay, Gaurav. Okay. You hope you may have my ID, no?
Just a minute. Krishna, are you there? Just give me a minute. Let me just call Krishna. Yeah. Have you written the question, Ravi? Ravi or what? Just forgot the name.
Yes, Gaurav. Virendra.
Okay. Let me just see. No, I can't see any question.
Oh. Let me put it again.
No, I think the questions are not coming to me directly. That is the reason, because just give me a minute. I'll just ask Sana or Krishna to allow me to see your questions. Just give me a minute.
Here there is option like organizers only or Sana or training organizer.
Edwin, are you there?
Yeah.
Edwin, can you just do one thing? Can you just type your email ID and send to organizers, and they will get in contact with you? I'm not able to. Okay, you've done that. No issues.
I just type it in chat window.
Okay, okay. I'm not able to see, but the organizers will be able to see. So I'll just ask them to speak to you.
Is there any other contact number I have on this? Okay, I check it with my friend also.
Yes, yes, yes. You can just check with them.
Okay then. Thanks. Actually,
Okay.
I'm late.
Yeah.
I look
No
forward to
issues.
joining
Meet
you.
next time.
No problem. You're basically SAP SRM or Ariba or core logistics guy?
No, I am from core logistics.
Logistics. So you will be the faculty for this whole online
Yes.
session.
Yes,
Okay,
yes, yes.
Okay, I will go through the link. If you would have
Sure,
sent it as quick as possible, I could have responded to the course joining and all.
sure, sure. No issues.
Okay.
I am actually not able to connect to Krishna. So the question, is it okay if I answer that question in the next class? I don't remember the name also. Sorry. Who was that? Okay. I think we are done. We can close today. Thank you. Bye all.
Okay, see you. Bye.
Yeah, bye.
Hi, Gaurav.